Welcome, Wapham crew and new listeners. Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high. Get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. It is Saturday, November 19th, Sunday, November 20th, for those of you across the pond and beyond. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, and welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. I'm so glad you guys could join us this evening. Did I just lose myself? Nope, here I am. So glad you guys could join us this evening on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and we are live from the Mile High Clubhouse tonight. I'm hoping that you guys have had an awesome weekend so far, and you haven't lost yourself. It's gotta be a rockin' weekend. I'm so glad you can join us on one of our many outlets. If you're listening to us live right now, you're most likely listening to us on KPNL Radio, which you can find at KPNL Radio at kpnl-db.com. You may also find us on eTalk Radio, which you can find on etalk.tv/radio, as well as Spreaker under We Are Paradox Media. If you want to listen to us on your free time, whether you're working it, or working out, check us out once more on Spreaker, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Tumblr, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podcast Chaser, Podvine, as well as Facebook. Please go mosey on over to our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Give us a like and comment on any video you listen to, and make sure you give that little bell a little tickle. That way, next time we have an episode come up, it'll make you aware of it. So tonight, I have a treat for all my guys and gals out there. Tonight, we have Psychic Chris Garcia on. And Chris Garcia is a psychic medium empath, clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, who also has the ability to see auras and has experience with remote viewing. He has had these God-given gifts since the young age of 5. Chris loves helping people and sensitive children with their gifts as well, and he is a tarot card reader and a ghost hunting and paranormal enthusiast. He is also a shaman healer and very into his native roots. Welcome, Chris, and thanks for coming on the show tonight. Okay, now I'm not hearing you at all. Hold on one second. Let me go back over here and push some buttons. Are you there now? I can hear you now. Okay, and you're not bouncing on the thing, so let me do this one. How about this one? Now say something. Hello? Nope, can't hear nothing. How about this one? Nope. Man, how about this one?
That's good.
Okay, good. Now I just gotta.
That's insane. I'm telling you. That's what you were calling me. I was like, why are you calling me?
I know, you're like, what do you mean live video? What are we gonna do on this live video? And I'm like, same thing we do on the show every time. It's just gonna be kind of a behind the scenes thing for all the peeps out there. And I could just hear your gears grinding. You're like, what the fuck is this crazy chick talking about?
I was like, what? I was like, and then Johnny was like, you have a show tonight. Because he was calling me. And I'm like, what? I'm like, when? I didn't get the notification. So this is weird. You know what, Tess? If you're on some stuff, can you give me some of that stuff too?
Well, I was really hoping that I'd have some chocolate bars infused with some magical mushrooms from Denver, but they're like, no, sorry, it's not legalized. It's only decriminalized, blah, blah, blah. And I was hoping to have that because, like, it's really good for depression, anxiety, etc. And I was hoping to put that in place of a couple cocktails in the evening because that's not so good for you. And my husband took my daughter to a concert up there, this really cool rap concert at the Red Rocks. I really want to go there someday for a concert because it's like nature's amphitheater. But yeah, he went to the dispensary and they're like, sorry, sir, but we don't sell that. And my daughter, who turned us on to it, was like, well, maybe that particular person wasn't working that day or something. And I was like, man,
Wow.
but they did finally legalize it here in Colorado, and I did vote for that. So I'm super stoked and waiting for that to happen. From what I was reading, it's going to be more like, okay, you come in for counseling, or maybe it's kind of like you know how people go to detox or they go to certain places in order to get over their addictions or whatnot, and
Yeah.
they can monitor you while you're on it instead of just being like, "Here, have some mushrooms, and we'll see you back here in 3 months." Instead, they're going to
Oh.
monitor you while you're on it. So I don't know, but I have microdosed before, and I don't know. I think it's my genetics. I don't really trip, even if I have a massive dose. I don't trip. Everybody else does. So I'm like, you guys gave me some bunk ass shit. But come to find out, I think it's just my genetics and I don't get those visualized or whatever trips like everybody else does. I'm just like I smile a lot and I laugh and that's about it. And everybody else is like, "Whoa, the wall's melting" or something else, profound.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny though because I mean, I've had where I've had people where they just trip on it or like control it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay, I can deal with it and stuff. So, but I'm glad to be on, even though I'm sorry I didn't completely didn't know. But it was, I guess I didn't get the notification. So that only tells me one thing: Facebook is being an ass. I'm sorry to say it, but Facebook, if I didn't get no notification, I mean,
Yeah, that is crazy. Holy shnikes. My headphones are going crazy. Hold on one second. Yeah, can you hear that? That's my headphones for some reason. It's still doing it. Okay, hold on. Okay, there. That's better. What the crack?
what is
Yep.
that?
Pair of technical issues, I suppose, but it's better now. I'm
That
sorry.
is, oh, that's what I'm saying, Tess. Whatever you have, I want.
Yeah, I don't know what I have. Maybe it's an attachment or what the hell is going on? I don't know. I can't project that through headphones, or can I? No.
You know what I was gonna say? How will we do a live while we're on here? Would I have to go on the other phone? And how does that work? Because you said, oh, okay.
And you know how we have paratechnical issues anyway, so I'm just not gonna even try to mess with that. That's why I said, because like I could tell you were like thinking about it really hard and I didn't want to stress you out before the show, so I'm like,
Okay.
hey, let's just like put that off the board and we'll try it next time we have a show. So for those of you that aren't in the know, we were kicking around the ideal of using the StreamYard that I've been paying for at least like 7 months now, but I haven't used until my friend. His name is James Cardenas, and I don't know how he pronounces it, Cardenas or whatever, but he lives in San Antonio area as well, and he's a part of Midnight Paranormal Society. I don't know if you know those guys, but I think for sure, Chris, like you guys should hook up, and they've been doing all kinds of paranormal investigations down there in San Antonio.
Yeah, well, I know who you're talking about, Mike. I've only seen him maybe like once at a MUFON, uh, but I haven't been to a MUFON since my friend Stefan stepped down. He didn't want no part of it because he found a lot of people that they weren't being true to what they were doing. So he's like, dude, I don't want no part of that. But when I did introduction. Um, yeah, so so, but yeah, I just did. it was just it was okay. I told them who I was, but I did um channeling this and that, and I told them I had a YouTube page where I still have that YouTube page. It's just not active. Um, so, but yeah, I've been just doing this for quite some time, and I told them that I do missing cases, so if they need any, psychic on their premises, I would do that too. So, you know, it might just happen. Oh, and speaking of that, since I heard a little birdie told me something that you had a little talk with a little birdie about joining the show with me one day.
Oh, yes, it's the
Oh,
cutest little birdie I ever did see, and I love this little birdie.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say, can you share the link? Just to
Yeah,
be
I
honest,
can
because
for
I didn't know
sure.
I was on. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was like, man, you should definitely come on because, like, man, I'd love her to come on the show. And I don't
Yeah.
know if it's like, being afraid just to go on by herself, which I don't think she has any fear at all, really. But I'm like, maybe you should just come on with Chris sometime. So yeah, let me go ahead and share that. In the meantime, have you had like any new visions or dreams or anything else like that going on? Or can you tell us about some of your paranormal walkthroughs and stuff you've been doing?
The walkthroughs have gotten more increased. I've had on the download readings where people are, some of them are want to be on live and others don't. Um, it just seems like this year has been kind of very interesting to say the least, which my personal life, but outside of that, um, it's been just very intense with the blind. No, I said the walkthroughs have gotten more intense, and it seems like every time I'm doing, it's like people are asking for me. Um, there's always something going on, so it's gotten really busy for me, like behind the scenes. But yeah, it's been just an interesting journey as always. Um, but you never know what kind of stuff. So, but other than that, it's been just busy, keeping myself busy as much as possible. Because I've been, I noticed that a lot of people have had issues with me in the past, and it's really sad though, to be honest with you. Because I mean, a lot of people are still trying to miss, the reputation of who I am. But everyone that knows me knows that I'm not that type of person to do those type of things. So if they are saying this or saying that, it's not true. So I've had a lot to do with gossip and stuff like that, and it's always like, oh, Chris is this, Chris is that, and I'm like, yeah. So I don't know.
Well, we've talked about this in the past and talking about making your haters your motivators, you know what I mean? And it's really hard because I'm a lot like you. Like, I'm very sensitive, and my son has taken after me as far as like not just like psychically or whatever sensitive, but emotionally sensitive. And like the smallest little thing will set him off. And I feel so bad for him. I'm like, it's okay, little Sonny Jim. What can I do to make this better? But he is so sensitive, and things that people say or do, whether it's the smallest thing, will draw him to tears or whatnot. So it makes me feel really bad for him. I'm like, I'm sorry you got the attribute from me, but I really love that he has that too, because that to me means that he has a very pure heart and soul, and he's a
Mm-hmm.
good boy and I love him. But it makes my heart break for him because I'm like, I can feel what he's feeling, you know what I mean? I don't know, it makes me
Yeah,
sad
yeah,
for him.
yeah. And how old is he?
He is 10 now.
Oh, so he's going through that early stage. I mean, he's just getting a taste of what it's like. He's hasn't got really to where if you, depending on what he's gonna want to be when he grows up, that's gonna determine on how people are gonna respond to what he wants to be. Because you have haters no matter what you want to do. Um, it really is kind of tough. So no matter in any career, it can be a paranormal investigator. It could be I don't know. It really is tough, and I say for anyone that's out in the field, you always have those competitors and people talking stuff to try to mess things up for you. But but you keep your head up high and you just keep moving forward. And like you said, you let those haters be your motivators. So I mean, they can run their mouth and say I did this and I did that, and I'm like, if you want to find out information, you come straight to the source and say, well, we heard that you did this and you did that. And I'm like, no, I never do that and I never have. So who's running their mouth? And there's things that I found out within the past few weeks that I'm knowing who's talking. I already know who is saying it. I already got a name who is, spreading these damn stupid rumors. And to me, it just seems like no matter, even though I don't talk to them no more, they're still keeping saying my name. They keep mentioning me. So it's like some kind of way, even though it's a bunch of lies, they're bringing publicity to me because the more that they say it, more that people are gonna be curious about it to see if it's true or not. And then once they see that it's not true, then I gained another person from them. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it, and I see the mentality of if you're gonna keep mentioning my name, go ahead, keep saying all that gossip because eventually people are gonna leave you, and you ain't gonna have nothing left. So
Yeah, and that freaked me out because, like, I saw you saying stuff to a certain person that I was talking to about their issues, nothing about you. And I don't know, anytime anybody gets blamed for something, I get a guilty feeling, like a guilty conscience. And I don't know if that's the empath in me or what. I don't know if you get that too, but I'm like, oh my God, I hope he's not talking about me because I didn't say anything, you know? But yeah, I think you just cleared it up, like you're saying certain people came to you and said so and so was saying something, because I'm like, I didn't say shit. I was just trying to help
yeah,
her through her issues. So I was like, I hope he's not mad at me because we don't talk a lot between shows, really. Sometimes we do, but a lot of times during the week I'm, dealing with family and
yeah,
raising the kids and stuff like that. So I don't get into a lot of chats until the weekend. And then people are like, shut up, go to bed.
yeah. So, but I just look at it now and said, I just don't let them get to me, and I just keep on moving and let them run their mouth. But it's really sad how people are still saying your name and you're not even doing anything. So my advice to anyone that's out there that's new to this field, the psychic industry, the paranormal, just know that if your name is being mentioned, people are talking stuff. That means that you're doing something right because you're reaching out to people, and what they're trying to do is mess up your reputation. But if people have known you like 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, it goes up, and the more people that know you, they're gonna like, that's not Chris, or that's not Tessa, or whoever they're talking about. It's the the people that know you, have known you for years, that know that you can't even hurt a fly. So why would you spread a rumor that you know somebody did this and you're sure that they're doing that and they're the ones that are pointing the fingers back at themselves because they're the ones that are doing it. So I look at it that way. My mentality has changed. My state of mind has changed, and I'm not gonna let them get I'm not gonna give them that power. So I'm taking that power and say you could talk all you want, but you could just shove it. So how I look at it.
That's right. It's kind of like that song. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Dong, 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 dong.
Yeah, but I've learned a lot from different people and people that are still supporting me to this day, and they're like, "Chris, don't give up. People still need you." The other ones that are still talking, they're just let them move their mouth, and so I'm just like, and they thought they could get somewhere, but it's
Yeah, they were just sorely mistaken.
yeah. So I just look at it that way, and, and I learned from it. So, oh, Tess, did you send it out? Because I can't find that link.
Oh yeah, I sent it to Johnny. But here, let me try to send it to you.
Yeah, I can. So I can send it because.
Now you have it. And I did try to add Johnny onto this call. She's like, "Yeah, you talked to me about it for this certain time, blah blah blah, and then you talked to me about it during this time." So yeah, I'm just gonna tell her I just tried to add you.
Yeah. I didn't know if she wanted her to be on the show for tonight because that's what she was messaging me, and I was like, I don't
Oh,
know.
that'd be awesome.
She was
I
like
love
asking me,
Johnny.
so I don't know, because I didn't, because I completely forgot. So, if she's got other stuff to do, then she doesn't have to be on. But,
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm just letting her know that I have her on the Spreaker, and she may join at any moment.
But other than that, it's been just, like I said, it's been just each time that I do all these different shows, it kind of helps a lot, and stuff like that. But I've looked at different things, tests, and I look at it and I'm like, wow. So I know that people are still saying stuff you know, that they're saying that I'm doing, but I'm not even doing anything. So I'm like really seriously like listening to all this garbage, and I'm like, where do y'all get this? Where are y'all getting this information from? So, and there's been people that have came forward and they're like, well, Chris, this person is saying this, and we just want you to know. And so it's kind of, I just let it go, and I just, look at it as God will prevail, because I know what I've done. I know what I'm capable of, and as long as I see it, if I know I didn't do anything, then I'm not gonna have it on my conscience because I know I didn't do anything. So why does it matter, what people say? Because as long as I know my own sanity, what I've said and what I've done, yeah, I'll admit to it. But if I haven't done it and saying, "Oh, you're doing this," and I've heard you're doing that, I'll just tell them, "Well, I don't know where you're getting that stuff from. So if you want to come to the source, which is me, then I'll tell you, yes, I've done it. No, I haven't, and I'll just leave it with that." So I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that you don't like you test, but I mean, that only tells you that you have reached your potential, and that means, in my eyes, that you are a threat in their eyes.
Yeah, and
Just
that's what I
remember.
was saying to you before too. It's like you're on the right path. You're doing what you need to do with your God-given gifts. Like God gives you this gift. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that's evil. Don't do that." And it's like, "Oh yeah, let me put this gift up on a shelf and be like, I'll just sit and look at the pretty wrapping and the pretty little bow on top and not do anything with that. Like, that's ridiculous. You really need to use that because, especially in these times, I do believe, and people might think I'm batshit crazy, but I used to have visions when I was pregnant with my daughter 22 years ago, almost
Wow.
23, about the end of the world and the different wars. And I was there. I'm going to be there. I know I am. It really freaks me out. And then I'd wake up and the news was on or whatever. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's just because I was sleeping next to the news and there's wars going on in places. But no, I know, due to my patriarchal blessing and just like dreams and stuff that I've had, like I'm meant to be here for the end of times. And it really seems like, people have talked about it since the beginning of time, the end of time. Like, it's
Yeah.
been a thing. But I really think, I don't know about you, but it's there in the immediate future and it's not going to be fun. It's going to be really hard. So I find it hard to like, okay, so I went through my cupboard and there's some expired cans in there, but it's, a year or two expired. I'm like, I'm going to save these just in case. I don't know what's about to happen. We got North Korea messing with their fucking missiles. We got Russia doing their bullshit and just like wanting a war. It seems like they just want a war. And so I feel like something's about to happen. And then with Plato, with what he said, being the most epic, like psychic, doing like future prospects, etc. The bear, the eagle, and oh my gosh, the dragon, I believe it was. The bear, the eagle, and the dragon, or was it something else? Um, us
Yeah.
and Russia and I'm thinking China. China. It's gonna be China. But it's gonna start with North Korea, I think. And they're gonna be like, oh no, you don't fuck with my brother. Now I'm going to fuck with you, homeboy. You think you're badass. You're all America and stuff. Whatever. We're going to blow the shit out of you.
I'm sorry, Tess. I can't help it with your voice.
Yeah, don't be sorry, cause no.
Your voice. You know, I say Jamaican, but you say it's something else.
Don't
I
be
don't know. You
wise,
got
wise
that.
guy. I'm going to blow your Timbuktu. You think you're funny? No.
I remember that thing too. That came from Charm. The Power 3 will set us free.
Right? Oh, I just
No,
posted
but
something about that last week too, not even thinking about that, but yeah. Power of three. No, but even like North Korea, I don't know if you know, but just recently, they've been doing forever, like all these missile tests and shit, and everybody's like, oh, whatever. Kim Jong Un, he's just like really upset about shit. He's got a really tiny penis, so he's got to set off missiles all the time. He's very frustrated. And then for the first time the other day, we actually saw his daughter again. Like, we haven't seen her for
oh,
years. We thought maybe he fed her to the dogs or something, but there he is with her, holding hands and being like, look at this missile. It's very, very impressive. And then, they set that one off, and that one was the one that could meet or reach the United States. So it's kind of freaky.
yeah,
Kind of crazy what's going on in the world today. So I
yeah.
try to have Johnny join on Skype. I'll try it again, but if I can't get through, I'll just ask you to try to add her on. I don't know if you'll
I
have
don't
better
know.
luck, but
I don't know how to even do that.
okay.
Yeah,
So I'll try again. You'll say what you're going to say while I do that.
yeah, but it's just crazy. But to me, it's just learning different things, and that's why I'm saying with these walkthroughs, I can actually tell you that the bell or the I've noticed a lot of people. I could say that are experiencing more phenomena, and it seems like the activity has increased. And I'm going to tell you something too. I can't say who said this. Everybody's wish to their own.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I heard from a good friend of mine. that there was his other friend, which I never talked to him. He does not believe in demons. Now, with not believing in demons, it's everybody has their own belief.
Uh-huh.
You
I
know,
know.
most
I've
people,
heard a
yeah,
lot.
everybody, yeah, and others have said that there's only such thing as aliens, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them,
Mm-hmm.
and dark shadows, skinwalkers, wendigos, all this other stuff. But to me, it's kind of, in my eyes, I guess I've been blessed, but I'm not saying I don't, and I do, but I do believe that there's demons. Some people think that there's no such thing as demons, but with all this stuff that I've seen and witnessed, I think the ones that are usually experiencing demonic stuff is um, yeah, more of just different stuff. And I wish to everyone that believes that there is, and no, you have your own beliefs, I have mine. I respect people, but I do believe that just like everything else,
Well, I
there
think
may
that's
be.
the like one of the important things today, and I've had okay, like my roommate, you guys know him. He used to be a host on the show. He thought ghosts were demons, and I'm like, no, totally different things. Like, yes, they can pretend to be ghosts, but they're this and this and that and that. But some people believing in angels, but not believing in demons and all this other stuff. And it's like, to everything that is in the world, there is an opposite of that. So if you
Mhm.
have angels, you have to have demons. If you have this, you have to have that. Like, there's so many different things. But I have a wonderful announcement. Miss Johnny's in the house. I'm so excited.
I'm glad that she's on, and I know
Stuffing my face. Hello,
Yes.
everybody.
Hello,
hello,
Johnny.
but
Hello, Johnny.
what I can tell you, this is what I say. Everybody can say whatever the fuck they want. I don't care. But if there's no such thing as demons, I'm not gonna go there.
I know, if there's no such thing as demons, then what the fuck was
Then
that?
I
What the
got a
fuck
big
was
one for you.
that?
I got one for you, Tess. If there's no such thing as demons, then Bigfoot doesn't exist. We know that that's a fucking lie because we know that Bigfoot does exist. But what people cannot see, like with Bigfoot, this is what I've had theories. I haven't been really drawn to him much, but lately I've been kind of like a pull to him for some reason. And for some odd reason, I've heard stories of like spaceships coming from the sky, landing, and then all of a sudden, I can't say names, but there's others that have seen the spaceship go up in the air, and then a couple minutes later, Bigfoot just comes out in the woods. Now, could that be conspiracy? Could that be superstition? Does the Bigfoot, is there a connection with the alien? Personally, I can't say yay or nay,
I
but
think
I
the
do think
Bigfoot has been fucked with just like us humans. Like they're trying to
yeah,
say, oh, the aliens and Bigfoot are in league. It's kind of like Star Wars, where there's Captain whatever the fuck his name is, and then we got Chewbacca. Is it like that? I don't freaking think so. I think they're
yeah,
being genetically altered and messed with, just like we are. And yes, they go onto the ship and they're I don't know.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. For me, I have, I'm not going to, because I'll never say never, but I have never, I can't even
You
say
just
the word
said that
never.
like 2 or 3 times.
Okay, I better not say it 3 times because it's not good. Just put it this way, I've never, there I go again, I say never.
Cha-ching,
For,
cha-ching, ching. What did he win, Johnny?
but for, I do feel that they exist, but I've never encountered one. Damn, see, there goes again that word never. Damn, I gotta stop saying that shit. But
Is
they
it
say
4 or 5? I'm pretty sure it's 5.
now, I don't know what Johnny's gonna say about that, but I just, I do believe that everything exists. Not just because you don't see it does not mean it's not there. And I've said
Right.
my fucking piece. So,
Okay, well, in my experiences, I seen a little grey alien in the bush one night, and we experienced a timeline shift that very night. On top of the area that we were looking at the time is a very popular Yowie spot that we would research. So, Yowie being the Australian Bigfoot. Um, and so for us, we have had quite a lot of, I guess you could say, data and experiences where Yowie, the Bigfoot, and alien activity, be it spaceships or, what have you, has actually happened in and around those areas. So, I'll agree that they either interconnected, if not, we're the teams that do believe in interdimensional Bigfoot, where they can, phase in and out. And who knows whether they are, part of the original guardians of the land. That's what we believe they are. And we do believe that they, when I say believe, there's no factual evidence, but it is just a possibility and a belief system that they've been brought in from out of, as in out of space, to come and
Well,
be
I
a
think of
guardian
them,
on the planet.
like relatives. Like, I feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
related to Bigfoot. And then I did my genealogy, and I am part. Holy shit, I can't even think of the name right now. Oh, brain fart. Here we go again. What is the name? Not Homo sapiens or whatever. That's humans. Original humans, like in their most original hairy form. That explains the hairs on my toes. I'm just kidding, but no, I think we are related.
The midlife
What?
whiskers and the
Huh?
Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
are
I
related.
gotta buzz those regularly and pluck these, and I have some here. I need to like get some wax or something. I don't know what to do. It's going crazy in my older
get a
years.
wax on the tip.
Nah,
The old
okay, now
Irish beard is coming in. It must come with wisdom.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
tell
Chris.
you.
Sorry.
Now I'm gonna tell you one thing, cousin. I don't know. This was way before Johnny. I didn't know who she was. I didn't even know she existed. There was this chat that I did a long time ago. There was my friend Donna, which I don't talk to her no more. There was a few other people I don't talk to, and there was like at least 5 of us. Okay, I can't mention this other person's name because Bigfoot start with the letter K, which I'm not gonna say her name. Well, the story with that is
Chromo de Magnaman. No, I'm just kidding.
that she was from Alabama, which that gives you more of a clarification of who I'm talking about. She didn't tell me anything, and I was astral projecting. We went to this hill somewhere in Alabama, and I don't know what the next state up is in Alabama. I remember seeing a cave, and I could see like the waterfall going down. And I told this person, I said, when I look at this cave and I'm looking at an angle, I'm like, how does it look like there's something I'm missing here? And even though you could see the water source, I was drawn to this cave. So we astral projected. There was I think 3 of us that we did it. We actually astral projected in the cave. Well, it happened to be that this cave was in a form like just a regular cave on the outside, but inside was a spaceship. And I'm like, you should have seen my face, Tess. You should have seen my face when I astral projected. I said, holy shit. So you're fucking telling me that this fucking spaceship in the cave where the water was flowing, you go in the cave and you look and there it is with the steps, right? So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, on the outside, people would think it's just a cave, but the cave kind of formed the spaceship, so to speak. And then I remember there was this one person, which I can't say her name, starts with a D. Johnny knows who I'm talking about. I think you do. Anyways, Uh, stuck there.
I'm just
And
sitting
Little
here
Debbie,
marching in the
little
corner.
Debbie.
couldn't get out, so we had to get them out. And then ex friend Donna, we had gone to the field, and I found out that, of course, me, the brave one out of everybody in the chat, and this chat, I was the one that went to the fucking field, and all of a sudden you hear, and I'm like, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, is anybody coming with me? And you never what they said. I ain't going with you. Fuck that. You go by your fucking self. I said,
You done
you
lost your
too.
ever loving mind.
Yeah. So, so I found out
Sounds
that
like
there was
me in the bush.
Bigfoot out in the wilderness, and I
He's a
never
bushwhacker.
smelled Bigfoot, but when I smelled, what I smelled out in the field, it smelled like shit. It smelled like something very nasty, dirty, swampy. It just had this weird, like almost like rotten eggs. Just put it that
Septic,
way.
a very
Yeah,
septic
Like a sulfur,
smell.
sort of
very
sulfur
Yeah.
smell.
smell.
So when I looked, I followed this damn Bigfoot, and believe it or not, I did follow. There is tunnels somewhere in Alabama. They're going underneath, and they have like different, or there's got different like I forgot what you call it. They're like different color
Like,
codes,
oh
different
yeah, like
color. Where it's got like blue, it's got orange, and it's got like tunnels that go for miles and miles and miles away. I went into these tunnels, Tess, and I'm not shitting you. They were like just picture this: the tunnels were like right, left, center, and you can just go any which way you want. And no matter which way you came, there was the tunnel where it either continued, and then if you went further down, you would go down the tunnel, and then when you come out on the other end, and you're just looking at all these fucking trees, and you're thinking, so this is how the motherfucker gets through. He goes through the tunnels, he makes himself appear to, but us as humans, disappears. He uses the trees to blend in, goes into the tunnels, and he comes out somewhere else where you just don't know, it's a different area.
yeah.
And so I've experienced Bigfoot, not really physical, but I've seen it in my with my astral projecting, and I swear that shit scared me. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Well, it is very scary because it goes to like the originality of us as humans. I remembered what the word is finally Neanderthal, and I have 56% more Neanderthal in me than most people that have done these crazy tests. Let me double check that. It's either 56 or 50. Yeah. No, it's 51. So you have more Neanderthal DNA than 51% of other customers. So I'm wondering, like, I don't know, when I went to Rico and we did that paranormal investigation, that was cool. And then the next day everybody's like, okay, so we did that. What do we do? And I'm like, I want to go up to where the mines are where we did security and see if I can find any sort of evidence of Bigfoot up there because they were throwing boulders in the middle of the night and didn't want us there. Like this place was abandoned a long time ago. They took over and
Wow.
now they're like, get the fuck out of here, you bald ass freaking whatever the hell you are now. But yeah, I found footprints. I wish I would have had some plaster cast or something to put in there, but I took pictures and I marked the toe and the heel. And if you look really closely, or maybe you have some sort of technology to change the colors to black and white or green or whatever, it could help. But yeah, I can see it because I saw it originally and I'm like, yep, there's the toes, there's the side of the foot. It was quite large, but it was in rocks because this was at a mine. So there's lots of rocks in
Mm.
shell and whatnot. But yeah, they didn't
Where
like
was
us
this at?
being there. That was in Rico, Colorado. So it's
Oh
between,
wow.
I believe, Cortez and Telluride, if you want to look that up. But yeah, that's an awesome area. It's very desolate, etc. Like it's way up in the mountains, but not only do they have Bigfoot, they have an albino Bigfoot. There's also a little neighborhood right outside of Rico that has Tesla energy that they're using, which is amazing to me. And we went up to investigate it, and people were like, "Who the hell is that?" Like, "Oh, y'all, look, it's an outsider." But yeah, they're using Tesla electricity to run their houses. To me, that's pretty amazing.
Wow. Who were you with
Yeah.
when you did this? Were you by yourself?
So for security, it was our company, so we had several different people on there. One of them being a black guy who's black and Cherokee, and he's like, I ain't getting out of the truck, Hoss. Like, you better go and do that round on your own, cause I ain't getting out there. He knew that there was something out there. He's like, forget about it. I'm just gonna stay here. I did my time in Vietnam. You can go do the rounds. I'll sit here and I'll make sure the truck is safe. But yeah,
I
on
mean,
that side, it was like the younger Bigfoot. On the other side of the valley, there was like an albino Bigfoot.
Mhm.
wow.
I've seen one of them. We
That, that,
had a big white one. It's hanging on the top of a gum tree. What they call a ghost gum. It's a big white ghost gum. And yeah, we went for a walk down the road and came back up, and I was like, I'm just gonna go and check that tree again. And here he was climbing down. Had a great big grey and black V stripe in his back.
wow. So that's
Yeah, it goes down
insane.
like this, like gray and then a little stripe of black and then gray or white again.
Yeah.
It was everything white, just this grey V stripe in his back. Mm.
Yeah.
It was like grey and black, yeah. So as it sort of greyed on, but you could see the thick V stripe. It was cool, very cool.
See. Don't hear
Pardon?
nothing. And they said that after going, is she on the show or she
Yeah,
or
she
did
came in
she?
and she said, hello, hi.
Oh,
So I just
oh
want to
I
let you
know.
guys know she's in the chat.
Hi Rose.
Hi, Rose.
No, but
Hi, best friend.
you know what I say, but you know what I say, and I can't really say very much because there has been a lot of people that taught me. Oh my God, I'm actually gonna go there. I'm not gonna say who said it, but some person told me, you know what? I see a lot of potential, and you don't give yourself that much credit. You
Well,
don't
I
give
found that
yourself much
too. I don't
credit.
know about you, Johnny, but with people around me who they have very amazing gifts. They're so gifted, but they've been through hell or whatever throughout their life, or something's happened to them where they really doubt themselves. Like, you have that power, you have that energy, you need to believe in yourself. And once you do that, you get rid of all this
Yeah,
negative shit and you do that, oh my gourd.
yeah, I've been there. Trust me, I've been there, and I've
Me
even
too, that's why I said that.
and I remember it was crazy. Somebody had even told me, they're like, "How do you do it? You make it look so easy." And I looked at them straight in the camera and I said, "I know, but it's not as easy as it seems." Most people say that anybody can do what we do. My personal opinion,
Mm-mm.
no, I don't think so.
No.
It God picks certain people to do certain things on earth, and unfortunately, I'm one of them. You're one of them. Johnny's another. But everybody's got different strengths and different weaknesses.
Yeah.
But everyone is, some people might get something that others don't see. So you never know what another psychic might get, and the others just don't know.
Yeah, what gets me is when people say, well, how do you know? And I say, I don't know how I know, I just know. I can't explain it
Exactly.
to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't even understand it. So how can I tell you how I know? I don't know how I
Yeah.
know. I just know it
Yeah.
came to me. Either somebody
Yeah.
told me or I got this message internally. It's insane.
Hmm. Yeah. And that's why I think a lot of people um have kind of like are scared of the paranormal. But I do see that even though our gifts do come from God, and let me tell you this, I'm gonna go there. These gifts come from God, but these gifts are unknown, or what you would call paranormal, or even supernatural. Now, if you don't believe, you which to your own, to whatever you believe in, but these gifts to the public people out there, these gifts are something that we know, but we just cannot explain how we get what I would say, the data on
The
the
message,
downloads that we
yes.
get. Yeah. So it's just something that you cannot explain on how we get our information. I don't know if any of
Well,
you want to add to that, but that's just what
yeah, let's
our
go to
main
Johnny,
basic.
see what she has to say on that. I'm like, are you still there?
You see the head is frying. The all-knowing. Okay, so ooh, I think like I have a frog in my throat typically now. Okay, so with the all-knowing, right? I'll share an experience that I had with Chris one time, which
Oh
really
God.
opened up my eyes as to um what
Mm-mm.
we do when we're asleep.
Oh
Okay.
God.
Now, all the while, everybody has this opinion of what we can or can't do, or, what we assume is happening, where we get our information from, all this sort of stuff. But after I witnessed this, it kind of made it quite clear to me that this is an actual thing that we as healers and the gifted ones will actually do. So we've all experienced waking up really tired, knowing we've been somewhere, we just don't know where we've been. We've all woken up with scratch marks. We're feeling like we're battered and bruised, and yet we've just been in bed. Now, this particular night, I was conscious. I was awake. I was talking to a person on a video call, and I was talking to them about a situation that I had with Chris. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna just see if I can go and wake him up. So I'm talking to her like I'm talking directly to you right now. And I'm sharing each and every situation that I was being presented with while I'm um, remote viewing at the time. And I go and find him, and he's asleep. And I go to wake him up, and he's not budging. And whisper in his ear to wake up, and he doesn't move. And then while I was down, I realized he wasn't even in his body. So I thought, I'm just going to follow the thread and find him. And so I did. And I caught up with him, and he's out. Two people with him, or three people, but there were people with him. See where they were looking. They actually were looking down over I guess you could say, a massive, like just a vision that was panned out in front of them. And Chris was there helping these spirit guides, her spirit guides, and they were helping a young girl, blonde hair, short blonde, or like blonde hair, in a situation. And I thought, wow, straight off the bat, this is what we do when we sleep. We actually go. So then, for me, it was like, this is why he knows what's going on, because he's already been there and seen it prior to. So then I thought, okay, well, actually, straight after that, he came and seen, realized that I was there, and I ended up taking him back to his body, and he woke up, and that was like a big joke for me and my friend, because we were like, at that time, I woke him up, it worked. But for me, in that given moment in time, I then realized that everything that we had, I guess, counter assumed, what is and what isn't, what could be, what couldn't be, and how it is that we know things. And that proved to me that that's what we do. We go and we'll go and help these people. And then that's like a discussion with the spirit guides. So when they come to us in the physical, we've got all the answers already to hand over to them.
Mm. Wow.
That makes sense. Was that like you guys were kind of like real quiet?
No, I'm just trying to get the sound fixed because I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Like, I can hear you through my speakers and my headphones, so that's really weird. But it's not bothering you guys, so that's cool. But I was listening to that, and it's true. Like, I don't know, it's really crazy, and it makes you feel crazy. But the more comfortable you get with it, the better. And these things are really happening, and we're not crazy, and it's okay. We just need to reach out to each other and try to work through this stuff,
Yeah,
seriously.
Amen
I'm
to that.
currently doing some work on the emerald tablets. I don't know. Do you
Okay.
know anything about them?
Well, yes, I do, and I wish I had a set, but we do have to go to our first music break because we are a bit late on that. But let's pick up where we left off here. So take a mental note or write it down really quick so we know to go there next time. But we do have to go on our music break. This is about a 15-minute and 40-second break. We got Miss Michaelin Hay from Canada with Nothing But Blood, Collapse, Close, and Devil You Know. And then we have Mr. Fred Johnson III. He's one of my favorite artists. He's from Canyon County, California. He's going to be singing Sugar. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
There's too much sky, too blue, too white. The birds on the wire are singing, but I don't know why. Why aren't the roses hanging their heads? They're standing straight up, blooming instead. Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. Why does that guy have a smile on his face? Why is the sun even shining today? Why are the headlines talking about love? Don't they all know what happened to us? Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. The moon goes up, the sun goes down, the stars light up, the world goes round. Every day, life moves on, it don't stop for anyone. The moon goes up, the sun goes down, the stars light up, the world goes round. Every day, life moves on, it don't stop for anyone. Now that we're apart, there's nothing. Now that we're apart, there's nothing but blood in my heart. Ooh, blood in my heart. Ooh, blood in my heart. is this gonna last? When we always collapse, when we always collapse. Saw you for the first time in a while. You seemed so surprised. I worked out a smile. 'Cause I've grown and I've changed. Yeah, we went separate ways. How come we're both back here? 'Cause you pushed me away, let my life rearrange, but still we're both back here. Close to me, I want you close to me. I can see that you wanted me. did our love go wrong, my sugar?
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining me this evening on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. That was Miss Michaelan Hay from Ontario, Canada, and then we had Mr. Fred Johnson III from Canyon County, California. So this evening we have the one and only Psychic Chris Garcia, and he's waving a bunch of, I don't know if it's sour earthworms, gummy earthworms. My kids love those.
Mm.
I'm a kid. I'm a psychic that has a sweet tooth. Sorry.
It's all good.
Yes, you do.
I got sweet tooth. I got sweet tooth. But a lot of people, I think, are the ones that are scared to get a reading from me. Tess, I can tell you, she's known me for how long, Tess?
I believe it's over 6 years I've known you. Like, I've been adding it up in my head, and I'm thinking over 5, but I'm like, no, it's been longer than that. Like, almost 7 years, I think, we've known each other, because you came on with me when I was on Spaced Out Radio, and then I started doing my own thing, and yeah.
And then Johnny has known me for a year? I think. I don't know. I lost track of time.
For a very long time.
Johnny's known me for, I think, about a year. So I think when I met her was back in, let me see.
But I feel like, okay, so do you guys feel like you've known each other for longer? Like, you knew each other before?
Yes. And we were just talking about that.
It's time for me to read the Rita. No, I'm just kidding.
I think we've known each other in different lifetimes. There's one time where when I look at her, I don't know if there's a picture, but I want to say it goes back to Egyptian time.
That's what I'm saying. I saw her with like one of those hooded robe thingies on.
Yeah.
And her
And then
oh my gosh.
I see like a weird symbol on her forehead. It looks like a crown, but it's got like it looked like an 8, form 8. And it's like, yeah.
The infinity sign.
Yeah, and I see that, and I wouldn't say that goes back to Egypt. I could be wrong. But when I look at her, when I'm looking at that time, I wouldn't say royalty, something about royalty. So in her life, in my life, we've always known each other for many, many years. And I think
when I say I want to stop you before you go any further, but ectopic Egyptian, I am actually ectopic Egyptian way back in the day. That's how big it is in my DNA. But yeah, when I discovered that, I'm like, holy shit. And when I told my husband about it, like, that kind of re-emitted some energy to some crazy paranormal stuff we've had happening, and some dreams and stuff of his past life he's had. But ectopic Egyptian, I think we knew each other, me and Johnny, back in the day. We were there in the same area, and yeah, I think we were both killed by these knights. And not all of them were bad, but some of them were.
You know what, Tess? I'm going to give you, since I mean, I can probably guess. I want to see what you see from me and Johnny. How long do you think we've known each other?
I'm going to say at least 3,000 years.
You say 3,000?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now 3,000
Try bumping that about 35,000.
I can think
you got 35,000? Maybe I'm off by a 0, which is pretty relevant for me because I'm really bad at math. But yeah, 3000. It could even be 3 million, because I believe we live longer than scientists say we did, and they've actually discovered that recently too. Oh, we used to date bones like this, but we discovered that's not accurate, so now we're dating them like this. So these things that were left behind are a lot older than we originally thought they were.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say
Absolutely. I mean, you look at like aliens, how long they lived. The giants, they could live thousands to the deities of immortality.
Yeah, you know what I want to say? I want to say that we go back is even back in BC. And that was either, I want to say when Jesus was crucified, I think after and even before. We just didn't really talk, but we knew each other during that time. So that's like a long time ago.
So
That,
one of my things, busted. So one of my things is I've been reading the Emerald tablets at the moment,
Oh my
and
goodness.
have been getting huge major flashbacks of my life. When I was a toddler, it started because when we started reading through it, I was sort of flicking through bits and pieces, and when you go in and you have to establish it and work it out on your own what you think it is, straight
Yeah, you
away.
have to do your own interpretation and pray for that too before you read it.
Yeah, and so the entire way through, I'm getting flashbacks of myself as a child, as an infant. So and where I was receiving information or having flashbacks and having visions of just visions I didn't understand at the time. And all throughout my life these things have occurred. And I never not once put it together until I started doing the Emerald Tablet. And in that, it started to present to me, because people have always said, you're such an old soul, and you're, the common things that people will tell you when you're gifted, your gifts are not like common people's gifts. They're different, or they're, your energy is different. It's like very very advanced, or things like this. So what I didn't realize is, while I've been going through this Emerald Tablet and realizing that everything that everyone has been saying has been kind of on point, and that I was getting flashbacks of even dreams, vivid visions. I had a hypnotherapy session where I had a giant Egyptian lady. She was a giant. She was one of the gods, if not a demigod. But she came in and she looked me up and down and she said, "Not ready yet." And my spirit guides had kind of just turned and they were like, "Okay," and then basically ushered me out of the hypnosis.
Recycle into a new body. There you go.
Yeah, it was almost like it was just like, so all of these things I'm kind of like getting flashbacks of my life over the course of time. And I'm not talking, I mean, you think about when the gods were there, that was dating back 40,000 years ago, you know?
See, that's where it makes
How
sense to me now that you're saying that. 35,000 years ago. That's exactly where I was seeing you guys, was 35,000 years ago.
between the rise and the fall of all the Egyptian times, I was there. Like I've had visions of me. What I didn't realize at the time, even this year alone, I was receiving multiple symbol signs, having dreams about
Downloads,
goddesses,
uploads, like what the
dreams
fuck do
about
they call it? I think a lot of us that are like inclined like that have been having that.
Yeah, I mean, there was just all these really crazy things, and I would confer with Chris, like, "What do you think that is?" And we would try and work it out, and for the life of me, none of us could work it out. I would see, it was just crazy things that were happening until the penny drops, and I start reading this thing, and it all starts falling into place. And I've never ever done any past life work ever. I've never ever done it, and I've always wanted to, but it was kind of on the back burner.
Yeah,
And I always
I've
kind of
had.
pictured myself.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hey?
I was gonna say I've had issues with that too, like doing the show back when I did SOR or whatever. like people offering to do past life regressions with me, and I'm like, I don't want you to go into my head and knock over a table or a lamp or whatever. Like, my mind is very fragile, so I don't want somebody running around in there. So that's what freaked me out. What about it
Yeah.
were you worried about?
I don't know. It's just something that never really kind of, I didn't really think too much of it. Um, up until last night, I was doing some more work on it, like some work on it on the green on the emerald tablets, and I was getting flashbacks after flashbacks after flashbacks, almost like I was literally going through a photo album, and I would turn the page and it was a different era, and I would turn the page again and I'd be in another different era, and I'm seeing, even from down through the under the pyramids and walking through their underground tunnels to coming back out, and I'm watching waters rising, to being a person in a in a village, and I'm there like in a stall, and I'm serving people, and I'm thinking, like all these visions just start. It was almost like I'm literally flicking a page and there's just more, like another era of time and another position that I was in, or a person that I was. It was the most craziest thing. And I'm kind of still shocked about it today. I'm still kind of trying to reflect on it. And it's all kind of like, it's a bit daunting. It is a bit daunting, especially when you consider, you know, you do tend to battle yourself sometimes when you're gifted. Like, am I just imagining this, or is this really true? And then on the flip side of that, you're kind of like, well, you just stop lying to yourself. You can see, you were there. Stop it.
Quit denying it. You're just making it harder. Just move with it.
Fighting against it. Just go with it. You're trying to ascend. You've been asking for this barrier to break, and we're breaking it for you.
Yeah, and I just say that I think a lot of times I want to say that there's even a time that we go back into the 1800s. I want to say 17 is what I'm looking at. I want to say like 1700s is what I see. So we've known each other quite a bit, like I said. I think
Yeah, that's only like what is that? 500 years ago. So yeah.
yeah, that's back in the 1600s. And it's weird because and then there was this one time I remember you were on the phone. Get this, there was this one time I was laying down and I had told her I had this vision long time ago, and I was in this house. I don't even know how I got in it. I go in and there's this long hallway, right? It was like a red curtain because this thing didn't have a door. This house didn't have a door. I'm in the kitchen and I'm walking down, and then like there's this there's this red curtain. Go all the way down, and I go to the right. The bed is red. I mean, everything is just red. Like the wall was red, the sheets were red, the dresser was brown. But I mean, just about everything we just stood out. And I'm like looking at in this house, and I'm like, why do I see this house look familiar to me? And then like I felt like nobody was there, but somebody was there, but they were just in a different room. So I walk out in the hallway, and you'll never guess who it was. I look, and she's like, who are you? And I smiled and I said, you look familiar. She was, how did you get in my house? And she thought, like the way Charmed is, she was protecting her space. And I said, I'm not here to hurt you. Before I know it, walked down the hallway and I disappeared, came back into my body. This story, this vision is very vivid. I want to say it goes back to the Salem times. And I shit you not, this house was Johnny's. The thing is, I don't know what put me there, yes.